Because I'm only taking just a little bit at a time. I'm not trying to take a whole big bunch of wood at the same time. Just very lightly taking it off. Now what I do is at this point I can take this, I've got this set on 4 millimeters. I can push that back in there, and you can see I still got a lot of depth to go back through to get to that. So I just wanted to establish where that was. So now what I can do is I know that I can go a lot deeper. Go real deep again, or not real deep, but we'll go deep enough on one side. And this forms a wall. It's a straight up and down in here. It's not undercut or anything like that. It's just like we did the head. It's just straight up and down. Now I go to the other side, and I work on the other side. And I know that I can go deeper on it too. Going pretty deep on both sides, so what I'll do now is I'll stop and I'll check it again. I'm getting close. As you can see, I'm getting real close to that back edge. Just a little bit more and I'll have the thickness that I need for the bill. This is where you need to be careful and cautious. And don't try to get into too big of a hurry because you can mess up this bill. You want to keep it just as clean as you can, get it as precise as you can, because everything works off of this bill. More in here. As you can see, we've got quite a stair step created in this. Now at this point we can measure it again and see how it's doing. So what we'll do is we'll take this again and measure this, and it slides in. So now we have the right thickness of the bill. So at this point what we can do now is clean it up. You can see it's irregular in here. We'll clean that bill up. We'll define some of this bottom edge here and then we'll define this mandible. We'll smooth everything out and start bringing it all down, and it'll look just like a little clean bird. So we'll clean up the bill section. The bill on one of these birds, you put the center line back in. Center line back in this bird. The center line, the bird's forms a rounded, sort of like a rounded triangle. It's not, the center line is not the ridge, it's rounded over, and then the bottom part is also just rounded. There's no ridge to it. And you'll see here in just a second when I start rounding this over, and I'll show you to get this cleaned up right here. See that I'm just following the center line. Cleaning up the bill. I look down on top of it to make sure that I don't have any irregularities in here. And then I come over here and clean this one up. Making sure everything's nice and clean. See, it's rounded over and doesn't have a big ridge going down the middle of it. But it looks pretty much symmetrical on both sides. Now what we have is on the bottom part, if you'll notice on the bottom of the bird right here, you have this little throat section. It's underneath the bill, and that comes off of this point right here where we made this first V. You see this little point right here where it meets the back of the bill, and the same thing over here. What happens is you have a little semicircle that runs like so. Now you'll notice that that's flared out right there. When we cut that in there as well, it'll take care of this little pieces right in here that you see. So what we have to do now is define this little section, which is the bottom part of the throat. So we come in here where we had the bottom part of the V. Kind of bring that right down to there like that, and we come right off the V. Go right off the V into this little throat circle. And we'll turn it over. Same thing to this side. And then we will come off of that like we did the other one. Defining all that. So now what we have we'll clean this up. We did those two V's. Notice at the bottom of I said the bottom of the bill was rounded. When we define the separation between the two mandibles on here, we'll round that over. So if you're wondering why that's not rounded now, that's why. So right now we're just cleaning out this throat section. Let's see, right about. Right here. Now if you look, what we've got is we got the bill is perfectly aligned from the bottom with the little chin and all of the side pieces already in. So now the next point is to bring all of this stuff together. What we'll do is we will now roll all of this stuff over, bring it down into a nice smooth area where it all rolls down onto the bill. And I'm going to change to a different bit to do that. And it's one that I use. I talked earlier about some rubies that I had that had kind of gotten smooth, and that's what I'm going to use to do that with. So let me switch out to that. And then we will. Notice I have a black mark on this ruby. That tells me that those are the ones that are smooth. Don't grab those up if I want to really get some wood off. That's why I have them marked special. So what I do, again, is I will just take and see how it's not very aggressive. I roll this all right down to the bill. Yeah, I'm just smoothing it right down to the bill itself. Not trying to get any different part of the head smoothed out. I'm just bringing all that right down to that part of the bill. Very careful here. I'm just barely putting any pressure on anything so that I can roll that. These are like little hairy feathers. They're just like little hairs on a bird, like whiskers. Side is getting there. takes time to roll those in there. So we'll repeat the same process on the other side.